Today for New Music Monday, we're going to check out Jay-Z's new record, Magna Carta, Holy Grail. It's been about 4 years since Jay-Z's last album, and as he's done on a majority of his dozen records, he takes a completely different approach with this one. If we ignore all of the media hype and technical snafus behind this album, when we break it down to just the music and lyrics, this is a very impressive record, even for someone with Jay-Z's track record behind him. There's a laundry list of producers and guests on this album, and that represents why it's both so good and so bad at points. As Frank Ocean's presence here might be my favorite thing he's done so far in his career, while Rick Ross completely ruins what a great song Fuck With Me could have been. But looking at the larger picture, if you're looking for deep beats, wildly original orchestrations, and some of the most eclectic samples that we've heard in years, you're gonna love this record as it overflows in every one of those categories. Add to this the fact that Jay-Z has really never shown this sort of lyrical diversity in the past, and you've got everything you need for a killer record. There's this vulnerability in the lyrics that we've never heard from Jay-Z before, and it really pulls you in a lot. And at the same time, he manages to find dazzling new ways to approach cliche rap subjects like fame and women. Along with this, Jay-Z drops so many references and names on this album that you could easily spend an entire week just trying to pick them all out. From Nirvana and R.E.M. to Lady Gaga and Foxy Brown, it's insane how many people he calls out on this record, both good and bad. I was a bit thrown when he name-checked Johnny Cash and then pulled a verse from the song Hurt, which is a 9 Inch Nails track. We all know that Johnny Cash just covered this song and did a great job of it, so I'm just going to assume that Jay-Z was being clever and he knows the proper source of those lyrics. But as he usually does, Jay-Z lifts about a dozen or so lyrics from the Notorious B.I.G. catalog, and even Biggie's voice makes an appearance on this record. But he manages to pull this off without frustrating the listener, because you might see him as a hypocrite, as somebody who's constantly calling out people who bite his lyrics, while on almost every one of his albums he completely tears one off from Biggie. To be honest though, there are some down moments on this album, and the one I have to point out is actually the title track, as it's really the only moment on this record that things seem a bit overdone, or for lack of a better term, completely forced. Justin Timberlake's vocal just doesn't sit well with me on this song. It doesn't fit in, and I feel like this song was just created to be a single from the very start, as opposed to letting the song form in a more organic manner. Much like Jay's vocal on Suit and Tie was nothing short of awkward and threw the complete song off, the same is here but in reverse. This one sticks out like a sore thumb to me, but it's forgivable when you look at the entire scope of the album. And just one thing, Jay, we know you had a daughter. We're happy for you. We see it and hear about it all the time. But honestly, we're not gonna forget about her if you go one song without referencing her or talking about her. Seriously, we're all happy for you, but it gets old very fast. And I know I'm not the only one thinking this, but the track that you feature your wife on is a musical disaster. On the Run is really the only song on this album that should be skipped every single time. It just isn't good. It's bad. It's really bad. With all that being said, what the album lacks in overall flow or a consistent mood, it more than makes up for in sonic and lyrical diversity. Obviously, Jay-Z was looking for this to be the album of the summer, and minus 3 or 4 tracks, I think he pretty much nailed it. This album really has everything that hardcore hip-hop heads will want, and at the same time it has enough of a pop allure that more casual fans just looking for fun songs can also enjoy. Simply put, Magna Carta Holy Grail is a solid hip-hop creation in almost every single way possible, and on the buy it or borrow it, this one is definitely a buy it. So that's what I got for you guys today. I hope you dug it. If you did, go ahead and click subscribe, leave a comment, click like, whatever you want to do. You can follow me on Twitter and Facebook right here, and I'll see you guys again tomorrow.